waiting for inspiration to strike is holding you back. The world is full of moments waiting to inspire you. But how often do we find ourselves sitting and waiting, expecting it to knock on our door? I'm sorry, but it doesn't work like that. Okay, so today we actually have a very special Vietnamese coffee that we're making from our good friend Vince's coffee shop. This is her breakfast, actually, and not mine, because it smells delicious too. Yeah, wow, time has flown by. What's so funny?
Y'all don't realize how hard it is
To film these little scenes and dialogue in front of somebody who's just
kikiing every time you mess up.
No, it's cute.
And to think I haven't run out of ideas to make videos about, yeah, it's pretty wild. So today, this is exactly what we're going to talk about. My active approach to seeking inspiration. But first, you know the drill. Okay, so you remember what I say about getting outside and it being the best place to find our ideas? Or well, at least in my opinion, right? Being outside in the sun or the rain, doesn't really matter. It's just better than being cooped up in here. Like, this is meant for editing, emails. This, I don't know, something about just sitting here, it doesn't say go get inspired. So we are gonna go outside and talk about how I continue seeking inspiration elsewhere. Let's go.
Love you. Have a good shoot day.
Thanks. Have a good coffee date. Our favorite little park. Framing, pretty good, I think. Even better, we are here in my favorite place to be inspired. Well, I guess just to think of ideas, just being outside in nature. I have a list of things that I will be sharing with y'all that I wrote down as to how I actively seek inspiration or stay inspired. We're gonna go down my list, and yes, I wrote these bullet points down because I don't want to forget it, okay? Number one, inspiration isn't passive. Damn, this is some bars right here. I said, waiting for inspiration is like waiting for lightning to strike twice. It's rare and unreliable, not impossible, but just why would you wait for it? You shouldn't count on it. Who do I think I am? A philosopher? The world doesn't owe you a moment of inspiration. You have to meet it halfway. Yeah, the world really doesn't owe us anything. The statement that the world is our oyster, it truly is, but you gotta work to eat your oyster, you know what I mean? Just like in real life. The world is like our bag of boiling crab shrimp. You gotta work for it to eat it, man. Movement creates momentum. Inspiration thrives in motion. You know, go out there, just like this, take a walk, explore a new place, or just try something out of your typical routine. You create the environment and the condition where inspiration comes from, which is, like I said, the great, beautiful outdoors. Curiosity is the fuel for inspiration. It's as simple as me just asking questions about what's around me. Like, what do I genuinely want to learn, right? I mean, things that I want to learn more about things that I kind of have an idea of how to learn about. Like, I'm not going to make a video about something that I'm completely clueless on unless I'm actively showing myself doing the research on the subject that I'm making. But, you know, when I think about how can I make better cinematic images, it's something that I have a pretty deep understanding of, And if there's any specific question within that, maybe a video that I would like to see as a viewer, I'll make something about that. It's as simple as asking questions. And my videos honestly always start out with a question. Y'all might as well call me Plato, bruh. Was Plato, he was a philosopher. Yeah, he was. Inspiration can come from the unexpected. You know, oftentimes my biggest inspiration to make videos comes out of nowhere, you know, when I least expect it. It's when I'm driving or when I'm on the toilet for a little too long. And I just think, I flush first, you know, I'm not just sitting, you know, I'm not basking in that, but I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are guilty too for coming up with incredible ideas while you're sitting on the toilet. Or just, you know, random little unexpected moments. You can't count on it. That's one of those situations where it just comes to you. I don't know why I wrote that, because that completely contradicts going out to find inspiration, but I wrote it anyways. So yeah. Waiting breeds stagnation. No, actually, it is what's holding you back completely. The longer you wait for inspiration to strike, the harder it's going to be for you to just start, right? Because making things is a muscle that you have to constantly practice. And you know, I'm not saying you can't take a long break and you come back and you're not going to be incredibly good at what you do. You know, talent will always be there. But you're going to be rusty, you know, and just the more you go out there and do things like this, like obviously not all of these videos, I've made 28 so far. Not all of these are bangers, but I'm out there making it. I'm making sure I keep that muscle moving, whether it's making videos out of thin air, or just going out there and practicing me talking to the camera like this. The search is part of the process. The act of seeking is valuable. It's not just about finding inspiration, it's about being open to it at all times. No matter where you're at, you could be at a restaurant, you could be on a flight, you could be at your childhood home. You never know. Like, if you are open to it, any and all ideas can turn into something just like that. The search challenges you to step out of your comfort zone. And like we all know, the cliche says, that is where growth happens. Cliche, I know, but it's true. You have to trust the process. Another cliche, right? To be honest, you won't find inspiration every single time you're out there seeking it. And you're just gonna have to trust that at some point, it'll all make sense. I go out there every day, you know, even in the middle of filming, I'll be sitting down, you know, in between takes, and it'll just randomly strike. And that wouldn't happen if I, you know, became closed to the idea that inspiration is always around me, everywhere, all the time. And my final thought, inspiration isn't hiding. It's waiting for you to move towards it. If you take the first step, the second step, third step, and you keep going, you'll be surprised how far it'll take you and where it'll meet you. I want things to fuel my art. I want feelings to fuel my art. When I think about how that makes me feel, it's grateful. I can make a video about something that I'm grateful for. And I just write it down. That's all I do. I feel like we're on a date right now. We're just here chilling at a park and I'm letting you know my thoughts. I don't know how I feel about these just talking to the camera and chilling with you videos. I find it just as enjoyable as the, super cinematic shot listed type stuff. And like I said, we're just trying new things out here. This is who I'm on a date with. This is crazy. This is y'all on the other side of the screen. It's always fun hanging out with y'all, for real. Well, that's everything on my list. So now it's time for the Q&A portion because I asked y'all on Instagram. So let's go get another coffee and I will answer some questions at the coffee shop, all right? It feels like a date. Hello, my lovely people. I would like to briefly interrupt this vlog to let y'all know that this video, as well as everything else you've ever seen me film, was color graded with this. This right here is my color grading preset available as a LUT, which you can get with the link in the description. It works with every editing platform, every camera, and yes, including your phone. With just a few clicks and a handful of seconds, boom, it works like magic, saving you a bunch of time. I very much appreciate your support, and even if you can't purchase it, thank you just for being here. You could still subscribe, like, or leave a nice comment, or even if you don't like it, also let me know. It is free to do so. Other than that, let's get back to the video. Wow. We're going to have to rapid fire answer a lot of these. Okay. How to find your niche. My niche is literally just the things that I like. I'd like to think that my niche is just about my interests. I don't believe you should make your one thing, your niche, your entire online content personality. Completely against that. Do I consume content to stay inspired? I consume some content, but mostly I just consume art, different formats, different mediums, whether it's photography, movies, painting, looking at paintings at a museum, music, so many different versions of that. Where does my greatest source of inspiration come from? Living life, very broad, but honestly, nothing inspires me more. It's not even necessarily seeing the world, but just seeing the world around me. In times I feel like I can't come up with something original, where do I find my inspiration? Nothing is original. You make it original. I am inspired by everything, anything, all the time, from different directions. You shouldn't copy something, okay? You should add yourself to it. As a creator, how do you find your own voice with creating content? I feel like I've been very blessed to live a very colorful life. That meaning, growing up in a household as a kid of immigrant parents. Growing up and going to school in a very diverse city, being outside, not always being on my phone growing up. I feel like all of those things have contributed to my own voice. There is a healthy medium balance of being a byproduct of the things you consume while also keeping it yourself. How to best approach the idea blockage is to always be consistently trying and to be open to ideas. And I'm not saying run yourself to burnout. I'm saying that just, like I said earlier, like just being open to all things around you. You'd be surprised by what you get inspired by. What keeps me motivated? The pursuit of happiness and doing everything I possibly can for the immediate people I love around me. That is my biggest motivator. It's bigger than just me. I've been very blessed. I've been able to use my art as a vessel to better the life of the folks around me and myself. Just like any job, I look at this the same way. Anywho, this is it. I hope y'all enjoyed this very intimate hanging out session. I got half a sandwich to go. There were about 500 plus questions on there. So I think I got to do a proper legit Q&A once this whole series is done. Don't you think? I think so. I'm going to continue eating this sandwich, enjoying this lovely day, and try to find a spot over there. As always, take care, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.